Now, how do I test the speaker? I go like this. External headphones. Hello, hello. And then do I test it? Can I? Oh, test. Ah, holy smoke.
That sounds like it was your head exploding.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, somebody peed here a lot.
Oh, no. Well, I wasn't here. I was getting my eyelashes done. Because that's important. You know.
I'm going to put a towel on, but I'm not going to clean it up right yet. Oh, man.
Well, I was gone from like, do I have stuff in my teeth?
Well, have you got a couple minutes? I want to give you a kind of a cool update.
I would love to hear anything you say. I'm going to put myself
Well, I'll tell you
on.
later, babe.
Hello. How are you? I am getting one of my things ready so that I can you hear me? Good. I'm getting one of them ready so that I can show everybody. There's a lot of newbies. Funny story, and I want to tell you before anybody else comes. A lady was all in a panic because she didn't have any paint. And I said, oh, she said, yeah, my son picked up my thing and there's no paint. So I went running over to her house and I handed her this.
Oh, okay.
And she said, oh, I already have one of those. And I said, what? And she said, oh, I didn't think I had enough paint. And I said, oh, yeah, that's how much paint you need for this to do it. And she said, oh, I'm used to acrylics. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry, because I ran over there with the paints. I was so worried that she wouldn't have it. Oh, my gosh. How do you like your watch? I noticed you're wearing one of those Apple watches.
No, this is a Fitbit.
Do you like it?
Yes, because I've been using Fitbit for a long time, and this one.
Does it keep you going?
Well, it tracks my sleep, which is the most important. Because lately I've been sleeping well.
What's going on? You seem tired today.
With Zoom.
What?
How is MC? They do you provide computers to your student, or they okay? So everybody buys an Apple, right?
Well, everybody has one because most people are fairly well-to-do. It costs $22,000.
Oh, yeah, because my kids, when they graduate from elementary, I always buy them, and then we move on to an iPad. Oh no, not iPad. What do you call this? The
Chromebook.
This one, the Chromebook.
Yeah.
Not Chrome. The Apple Book. They go to high school. I buy them.
That's expensive. You did a good job.
Yeah, but so anyway, because I don't pay for school anyway. So my son, it's. I hope he's not downstairs.
What happened?
He's alone all the time. So no class, no
supervision.
Yeah, so he's kind of.
Is he failing?
Yeah, and he's an A student. He's gifted. He's in a GATE class.
Mm.
And then so so the COVID happened, and so the counselor started talking to him, and everybody was, cheering him up, and we were trying everything. And then but they wouldn't let him use his Mac. They because they gave everybody Chrome.
Mm.
The phone he got is brand new, fine, but after he used it for, I think, about a year, um, it wouldn't work any. I mean, there was glitches. So
Mm-hmm.
since the pandemic, we've gone over to Hill Middle School where they have the IT people.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going there very often,
Mm.
changing his Chrome, because
Mm-hmm.
either it's glitching, there's no video, there's no this. So finally today, because he didn't go to school today because he had no video, no nothing.
Mm.
So I
No.
wrote NUSD, and I we went to Hill, and we were able to get a new one, and we were able to fix it. But
Good.
now he's so totally withdrawn.
I know.
He doesn't want to go to. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm. It's good for some people and it's not good for others. It's good for me because I feel like I'm on TV and I'm the personality and I can do it. I mean, I'm usually jumping around the classroom and I use a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And if I see the
My-
kids, do I have stuff in my teeth? I had some,
None. None. I don't see anything. Nope.
I had
Nothing.
itch tonight.
You have what? What'd you have tonight?
Well, I read it in a recipe, but then I decided to just sort of do it without following the rules. So what it is you make, you just brown pieces of chicken, little pieces of chicken. So you just get it all cooked and then I chop it up. I usually cut it with scissors. And then you do separately, you do mushrooms. And so I did that separately. And then I did the spinach. So then the spinach was ready and the mushrooms. And then I did heavy cream.
Okay.
And I probably missed a few things, but I did heavy cream and Parmesan cheese. So, and some probably added too much, it's called broth,
Broth.
like,
Okay.
yeah. But that's what I cooked the spinach in.
Yeah.
So then I put it all together, try and get it thicker with salt and pepper and whatever, it just kind of, I probably should add some flour or something, but I didn't to make it thicker. And then I put it on top of pasta.
Pasta.
And it worked.
Yes.
Oh, this is the lady. This is the lady. I think she is. Okay. So don't say anything.
Okay.
Hi, Miriam. Are you there? Hi. How are you? Look at you. You're out on a boat. You're not the one I saw today, were you? Were you the one? Take yourself. Were you the one that I saw today? The one that I stopped
Yes.
off? I stopped off at your house?
Yes, that was me.
Mm.
Sorry about that. Oh my God, I didn't
That's
realize this
okay.
little paint was enough. So I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. It's okay. She likes the boat in the background. Is that
We
yours?
ride on it and have an art class.
What?
Mm.
I want to know how.
And Joan, I'm the one that plays tennis with your husband.
Oh.
Oh, you're Miriam.
Yeah.
Oh, Dawn, Miriam's in the class.
Hi, Dawn.
Yeah, he's upstairs. I spelled hibernating wrong on this piece of paper. I put a Y in it. What a dork. Why? Because how often do I write the word hibernate?
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway, so I'll tell you what to get in the meantime, since you're a newbie.
Yeah.
Get yourself a bunch of paper towels because you'll be wiping good and you could just fold them and put them off to the side. And then I would get yourself a couple glasses of water. Nice.
I
Perfect.
follow instructions.
All right. I know you're good. And all I need you to do is put yourself on mute only because when you need to talk and then I let you do it. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
and then I also tell everybody, but I'll treat you like you're a newbie because you are. Everybody usually pins my video. There's a little thing at the top where you can pin me so that when I'm giving demonstrations, you're not looking at a little square. Okay. So do you play tennis with Dawn? Okay. So you do the hit and runs. Hi, Susan Kenny. I feel like I know everybody's houses so far. I know that corner of your house. I know that little area there with the plants. And you know what's funny is when Janet's there, it's always the same. It's always perfect. You know, like not saying your houses aren't perfect, but Janet's house is just, it looks like it's very organized. You know? Yeah, that's what I get the idea. You see all this shit in the background of mine, right? Yep. In fact, the other day, look at Don's sneakers. They're up here on the table because he's afraid that puppies will bite him. So now we have sneakers on tables. It's crazy, right? And now Kylie, or is it Kyle Roselle? I don't know how to say it. Kathleen Miner's coming in. She's in the waiting room. Hi. How are you? Hi. Oh, hello, Kathleen. All right, now we have Michelle Bain coming in. I get to admit all these people. I feel like I'm royalty. Aha, there's Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Ooh, I like that color on your back wall. It's very Starbucks. I'm drinking wine. Just wanted everybody to know. Tonight's class paid for my eyelashes. Thank you. I have false eyelashes because I'm such a dork. I have to get them glued on. I tried so many pairs of the, you know, what are they called? Magnetic. And sometimes at school, I would glue my own on. And by the end of the day, I pretended I was Frida Kahlo and I would put it across the top. I would just say, oh, screw it. And the kids were like, Mrs. McGinnis, and then I put a little Hitler mustache here. They didn't like that. That was not too good. But anyway, apparently the false eyelash, they'd say, Mrs. McGinnis, your lashes are coming off. They'd be like, wah. All right, whatever. So I don't do that anymore. I go to a little lady. It takes about an hour. Oh, man. But man, is it worth it.
How long does it stay on?
3 weeks.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, they are good.
There's
I
Shelley.
mean, yeah. Hi, how are you? Huh?
Who do you go to?
I go to Dynasty Nails. Her name is, she's from Vietnam and
Yeah.
her name is Linda and I love her.
You have a neighbor that does it. In Roland, going up the mountain. Yeah, her name
Yeah?
is Japanese, Tokiko, carpenter.
Is she good?
Oh, yeah.
I bet. Have you had it done before?
No, never. But my friends do.
Okay.
My daughter does it all the time for
Oh,
competitions.
see, there you go. There you
I
go.
can't do it, but
Yeah. Hi, who's coming in now? I see
Sally
somebody.
Roberts.
Sally Roberts is connecting. There she is. I can't pretend to have a British accent because she has one. So that's the problem, right, Sally? Because I do that just to goof around. And then I'm thinking, oh no, Sally's going to think I'm making fun of her. Right? But I'm not. I just do that because I think I'm
Don't
being
make fun of
funny.
me. It's okay.
No, it's okay. All right. Now I'm going to make fun of you. See, that's the problem. If I see you guys weekly, I'm going to start giving you a hard time. You know, I like you when I give you a hard time. That's what I tell my students, right?
Good.
All right. Terrific. So we do have quite a full class tonight because I'm only doing it once a week. It was too hard for twice a week. We were eating too many pizzas. I mean, it was like, okay, so Monday night I was getting everything ready. So of course we had to have pizza. And then Wednesday night I was teaching and Thursday night. So it was like, okay, I'm really shucking my responsibilities here. But anyway, this will be fun. I am going to make a video. I'm recording right now. So of course, I hope you guys don't have any issues with that. Otherwise I'll have to put a black piece over your eyes, so you're in the witness protection program or something, right? Sonia Tanaka. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's 2 more people waiting in the waiting room. Let's talk about them before they come. Who are they? Oh, it's Kate O'Connor. Oh, 3 people. Rachel Clodfelter, she's new, and Shannon Dugdale. She's doing it without her mom tonight. Okay, we're going to talk about you. Yeah. Okay, more people. Hi. Hi, Shannon. You're there without your mom. She just picked it up, didn't she? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So wave your hand if you're a newbie, just so I know. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Four newbies. This is fine. The class is taught as if everyone were a newbie, and it's good because all of us are at that age where we forget things, right? Except for Shannon. Shannon's like, oh no, that's my mom for you, right? Okay, so to begin with, I would love for you to have a hairdryer nearby if you have one. Shannon, did you resurrect it? Not yet. Okay. I would love for you to have a couple glasses of water, like a large glass would be good. Also, you can put yourself on mute. Sorry, Shelly, I could hear your dog. And then you would take a couple pieces of paper towel and fold them because we're going to be wiping off and using this quite a bit, believe it or not. Our paper towel is our friend. Okay, first things first, what we're going to do is, I'll explain to you. We are going to take the picture I gave you. See that picture? Okay, and then you're going to turn it over and take your number 2B pencil. Okay, and what you're doing is you're going to be scribbling on the back of it so that you end up making yourself a poor man's graphite paper. See this, Miriam? And so it's the back of it. And what I've done is put down the lead pretty hard where I'm going to trace it on the other side to make a tracing. Okay? I know it sounds really weird, but take the pencil I gave you. If it's new, of course, you have to sharpen it. And I gave everybody a cheesy sharpener. A little better than before, though. Have you noticed I've upgraded? Not only am I getting my eyelashes, I'm upgrading, people. Those bags were just not cutting it. I moved up to boxes. Ooh, McGinnis. So I am now going to switch so you can see what I'm doing. So here it goes. Whoops, not yet. I'm going to go to share my screen, and then I'm going to go to advanced. I have to say this out loud because my son showed me how to do it. Oops. Okay, so I also tell everybody that you go to my video, the one with the picture here, not the one with my face, and pin it so that that's the largest one. You don't need to see the rest. And so that when I'm doing demonstrations, you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So because I'm doing a demonstration, I'm going to be doing 2 of them. And if you ever get to that point where you want to do 2, I mean, I usually give you enough paint, usually. We're not using easels because this is watercolor and we need it to be flat. If we ever need to pick it up and make some stuff drip, then we'll do it. Otherwise, this is how we do it, on flat. It doesn't look as glamorous because I know that easels are so pretty, unfortunately, but that's for the acrylic people. They get to do that. I've taken acrylic classes and I've done quite a nice painting. I have it hanging up in my house, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. I like watercolor instead because of the surprises that happen. And that's why some people don't like it, because of the surprises or the frustration of not being in control. That's a thing too, I gotta let go, which is difficult. Now it sounds like some sort of psychology class. Okay. You just want to make sure that if you hold it up to the light, wherever there is a line, you know, like the bear and the fox, and the fact that, you know, there's you got to go all the way to the edge, because that is also where the snow goes. Even though when we put our frame on it, it may not even cover. I mean, it may cover that area, but still, we're going to do this whole thing. And then every now and again, I pick it up just to make sure that I'm getting it Like I know the tree is done and I know that I've got the bottom where the fox is. Now, originally, oh yes, I'm sorry. Somebody wants to come in. Oh, sorry. Oops.
That's good.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I forgot to let him in. So what did you just say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Somebody just asked me a question.
Joan, this is Kathleen.
Oh, hi. Hi.
So I have
Hello.
a question. question.
Yes.
So if I hold this up to the light, I'm supposed to be able to see lines through it?
No. If you hold it up to the light, you can see that wherever there is a drawing, you're going to have black. So that when I do the transfer, it will go through. Okay. All right, Holly, can you put yourself on mute? Holly, put yourself on mute. All right, good. Okay, so what's happening here is we're putting down, it's almost as if we're using transfer paper or tracing paper, but this is like the way we do it instead. I bought tracing paper one time before and it was horrible. It left dark lines and I didn't like it. And that's why I went back to this old fashioned method of putting down the graphite first. Okay, does that make sense to you guys?
Take your word for it.
All right, I honestly just trust the process. Okay. So tonight's paper is not the best of the best of the best, but it's not the worst either. It's 140 weight, but of course it's not arches. When we do our next one, OMG, did you guys see this on Facebook? Check it out, everybody. This is what I'm doing next Thursday, and I've already got people signed up for it. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Here it is. Here is the one you guys will be doing if you want to. Oops, I've already framed it, but I made it larger than the other one. So I wanted to show you while you guys are getting your things ready. I thought, I heard the monarchs are coming to town. So, and I thought it was kind of the Halloween-y colors. And I did two of them, one on crappy paper and one on better paper. And this one was more easier. So I'm going to give you better paper. This paper's okay, but it curled and I didn't like that. And then I made it slightly larger when I did it a second time. But I did like how the dark parts got on it. So the next one I do, I'm going to try and make more dark. Okay. So if you want in on the monarchs, I would love to have you. I'm going to go ahead and put this away for now. Got the monarchs ready for Thursday. Okay, so now everybody has been given a piece of paper. There are two sides to this paper, okay? There's a very, very smooth side and there's a little bit rougher side. I think you should use the little bit rougher side. Trying to get that, I don't know. Having a little bit of trouble focusing, okay? So what I'm gonna do is there's a little piece of tape that is on your watercolors. That tape is actually the tape that is used for watercolor. But because I have issues with it, I always rub a little bit on my arm or on my pants. And I'm going to put it smack in the middle and I'm going to tape the top of it down. I'm not going to let it move. Okay. And then what I do is I take my pen, my red pen, and I follow all the lines so that when I'm done, I will have a drawing underneath. Okay, now I'll pick it up and watch what happens, newbies. Oh, there it is. See?
All right.
So what you're doing is you tape it down and you don't move it. And then just go ahead and follow. You don't color anything in. Like this bird, for example, you just kind of put it in there. Hopefully it'll look like a bird. Okay, and just put yourself on mute unless you have a question. All right. So then, there's the snow. And I color in the eyes. I make sure I make those pretty hard because I will be going over those. So that's okay to put that in. I just thought this was so cute. I saw it on the internet and it was actually not a brown bear. The bear itself was a white bear, but white is really hard to do, especially in snow. So I changed it. I made it brown. But I will show you if I can find the original. I'll show you the original, what I first did, and then I changed it. I've painted it about 2 or 3 times to get how I wanted it. And what you need to do is just make sure you get in all the little details. For example, even by his nose, right there, he's got a little, where he's all tucked in. You don't have to do the very, very bottom. I didn't do a line there because we're just going to color that in. But what I like to do is pick up the thing and tell my dog to be quiet. Pick up the thing and make sure that it looks just like the picture. It looks like I got everything. I didn't really get the nest, but that's okay because I'm going to be putting in the nest myself with little lines and stuff. Excuse me, I got to let my dog out. Now, at any time during this demonstration, if you fall behind, take yourself off mute and tell me to slow down, please. And I will, okay? I have students, and today I was introducing the subjunctive in Spanish because I teach high school. And I said, hey guys, if I go too fast, I need you to go like this because I have, 25 kids in a class. And they know that. They know that if I'm saying something or if I present something too fast, they can wiggle their hands and then I'll go back over it. It's funny, but I can also tell when they're texting one another because they're smiling or smirking at their phones. And I'm like, hey, I don't think I'm being happy, funny right now. What are you doing? You can so tell when the kids are up to no good. All right. I think this little fox reminds me of a Chihuahua. It's just so little and cute. This could be a nice card, if you made copies of it, because this is a copy from my printer. So of course it's going to come out differently. Whoa. Okay, so lift it up before you take it off and make sure that everything looks, I would do a very light line where his leg is, there's no reason to do it really dark. So that's so I know where it goes. But other than that, oops, I missed a little spot, but it's not a big deal. As long as it's nothing major. And if you pick it up and it's going to look really messy, right? And my tape actually ripped it a little bit, but I'm cool with it because I know that when I frame it, nothing will happen because my tape was up here and thank God. Okay. So the reason I gave you the eraser was because it's going to be kind of smudgy. You're going to have lots of smudges going on. Okay, if you look real closely at mine, it's very messy. So I'm going to take my eraser and just go and clean it up. Okay, all these lines we'll be using. If you want to lighten it just a little bit, you can, because again, the snow will be light. So if you don't want dark, dark lines there, you can erase them. But for the most part, yeah, you're going to need the lines on the tree are definitely, you don't have to worry about the lines on the tree. But I would lighten the lines on the snow a little bit. You can still see them. But I am going to lighten the lines a little bit because I don't want too many lines to show through. However, one of the things about watercolor is that it's okay to have lines. It's all right. It's part of watercolor. Okay. So every now and again, I'll have to put my hand up there because it gets kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't focus very well. Okay. Oh, I have to tell you something funny. I made the picture and I was all excited about doing it that I actually forgot to put this on the other side. And then I went ahead and I carefully did the whole drawing, picked it up and was like, no, I forgot to put down the graphite. I was so mad because then I had to go ahead and put down the graphite again and blah, blah, blah. All right, there we go. It's Friday tomorrow, everybody. Is it your Friday? It's my Friday tomorrow. I always feel sorry for people whose Fridays are not Friday. You know, like if they work on the weekend or something. Okay, so when you're done, I think it's really important. It's kind of messy, but I think it's important to keep it nearby because you're going to be referring to the picture quite often. You're going to look at it and go, oh, it's lighter on top of the forehead. Or, oh, I see this is where it's shaded by the mouth, you know? So I want you to keep that nearby. Okay? Now, if you need more time to draw out your thing, move your hand. Cool. All right, go ahead and place that away. Get rid of it. You don't need that right now. Right now, we're going to focus on the colors. Okay? You can take probably one of your medium ones, not the detailed brush, not the big one, but maybe the medium one. Okay, and this is what I do. I take clean water. Okay, I'm going to widescreen it so you can see. And all I'm doing is putting a couple drops in each one. Ooh, I got a fuzzy in that one. Oh, well, I'll just have to pick it out later. And all I'm doing is putting a couple drops into each little area. The bird was funny because the bird, I barely gave you any red at all because you literally just need a tad of it, you know?
Shoot.
What? Are you okay? Oh, you're still on mute. Kathleen, you're on mute. Do you need to say something?
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yes. What's up?
Okay, sorry. So I have 2 brushes. Is that what I'm supposed to have?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, so when you say take the medium one, which one?
Just a smaller one, not the tiny, tiny one. Just let me see the 2. What do they look like?
I've got the purple and.
Yeah.
These?
You can use the big one for this. That's fine. Or the medium one. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is taking a little bit of water and splashing it in there. That's
Okay.
all you're doing. Okay.
All right. I have one more. Never mind. I have a third.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody should have 2 or 3 or even 4. Okay.
All right.
All right. So what I'm doing now is after I've got a little bit of water in there, I'm going to try and reconstitute the color. Okay. Now, I got to tell you, there's going to be you can go all the way down. Don't go up and down like this because I want you to keep your tip. These aren't the best brushes, but they also will last as long as we don't mess them up. Okay. All right. So once I've got one reconstituted completely, then what I do is I rinse my brush. I take my paper towel and I clean it off. I make sure that it's clean. And then I go to the next one and reconstitute it. Now, if it feels too thick, you can add more water because we don't want it thick. It is not acrylic painting. Remember, this is all about staining the paper. So once you get it nice and gooey, put water in it and that'll be perfect. And once I'm done with that, clean it off. Make sure it's clean and then go to the next one. Now, I got to tell you, this is for the bear. I think this color here, what color is this? That I have a list of colors here. Oh, this is for the tree. Yeah, that's the tree. And then farther down, this is for the little foxy fox. I'll go ahead and get that piece of goob out of there. Barely, you probably won't be needing all of it. And if you have extra, paint at the end, paint another one if you want to, You will barely use any of the Payne's gray. I'm going to get that going, clean it off. And now this is the bear. Oh, nice color bear here. And then the only one I'm not going to do is the white. There's no reason to do the white at all. We will do the white at the end. Plus, it's not even watercolor. It's something that we use for our mistakes and boo-boos and things like that. And then I'm going to get my red going. And then when I'm completely done and I feel like I've got everything at least a little bit reconstituted, I'm going to go and get 2 new clean waters. Okay? So here I go.
Way ahead of me.
Normally, if we were living in a world of no COVID and we were doing this, you would come up to me and I would give you fresh paint. It doesn't matter that it's not fresh. What I do is I use tubes, and the tubes are usually Cotman, Waterman, or I even use a little bit of this called Daniel Smith, something like that. They're very good paints. One thing is I squeeze it out of here, but you'll notice that some people have the little cakes that are solid. It's just a concentrated form of this. So what they do with the cakes is get it reconstituted as well. So we just happen to be using something like this. Something like this, it's 21 milliliters. It's like, I guess it would be about $10 of this one. Daniel Smith is a upper brand one, and it's like $17 for something like this. I usually buy the bigger tubes, but I also have a lot of little tubes. And this is called Grumbacher. This is a good one as well. So all the paints I use are usually pretty good. I don't buy crappy paints. I have used them before, and then I'm sorry. It's not like you have to have the best of the best, but at least middle to whatever, You don't have to have the Rolls Royce, but don't go with the Yugo, Uh-oh, I hope nobody drives a Yugo around here. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we're going to do first. I'm going to make sure that my paper is nearby. I've got my colors in front of me, my white. I've got my paper towel on one side. And now I'm going to read to see what's happening. Wet all of the sky, even through the tree, up until the top of the snow. You're going to use cerulean blue with a little bit of Payne's gray. Okay, so what are we going to do? First of all, we're going to take clean water and we're going to get all of this wet. Very careful along here. We're not going to go any farther than the snow. We're going to get it nice and wet and make sure that the whole thing, there's not puddles, but it's just glistening wet. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of what I like to do is I don't like to paint right from the pod. I will bring it over. I'm going to take it and bring it over like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Payne's Gray because I think the sky needs to look kind of cold. And so I added a tiny bit of Payne's Gray. So it's not as bright as this. It's this one right here. Okay. I'm going to rinse my brush. Don't leave it in the water. And now I'm going to give a demonstration first. And then I'll say, okay, go. All right. So here it goes. I'm going to give a demonstration. All right. Is that clear enough for you guys, or should I try and get it clearer?
It's
Is
okay.
that clear? Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Better.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the largest brush that I have and I'm going to get it nice and wet. And I'm going to go ahead and don't worry about getting the top part here, because remember, we're only going as far as the top of the tree. So I'm getting this whole area wet, but I'm being real careful along the edge. Okay, go ahead and do that. Okay. And the reason we can go right through the tree, I'm gonna make sure somebody's emailing me and it's driving me crazy. I hope she doesn't send me a lot more. It's ding, ding, ding the whole time. I have to figure out how to turn that off. I think there's a way. Okay. All right. Now, once you see that it's all wet, remember I told you don't worry about the top. Lean down and make sure that it's all wet. You can pick it up. Oh, I see I had a little skippy skip. I look at it and I see that it's all nice and wet. Okay, mine is shiny and wet. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to tell this lady to stop. All right, here it goes. Can we talk later? Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Now, what I'm going to do now that it's all nice and wet is I'm going to go into that second one and I'm just going to go ahead and put some down. I want to use a bigger one. Yeah, this is the bigger one I'm using. Okay, so I'm going in there and I'm careful. I'm putting it down. You can go ahead and put down the color. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the bright one too, because you do want some bright with the dull, and just throw it in there and get some water on it so you can move it around. You want to make sure that it moves. Okay. What do you mean by that? Well, if it's kind of going, then it's not moving. So careful here. And just near the bird, I'm going to clear it. I'm going to take clear water and I'm going to make it so there's not quite as much on the bird. Okay. And then because we don't want it to look real flat, we're going to put a little bit extra in there. We're going to throw a little extra, woo, little color. Okay. So you don't need it to be just plain. We want it to look like a sky. And sometimes I take clean water and I drop it on there like this. So it gives the illusion of some interesting things happening. And then if you move it back and forth, it actually looks like clouds. Okay? So it just gives it some interest. Because something about watercolor is you don't want it to be flat. You don't want it to be boring. Okay? Now, this is going to dry very light. It will dry very light. You don't have to worry about that. If you look at your picture, you'll notice that the real focus is not on the sky. So, and that's okay. And you can see that I dropped things on it. You saw that, right? So once you're done, you don't touch it again. You don't need to go in there and monkey with it because it's kind of like the ship has sailed. When you're done, you're done. You can't touch it again. Okay? Oops, somebody's asking me something. Shoot. What is somebody asking me? Oh, you guys want to be in for next week. Send me an email. Yes. Do you know why you have to send me an email? Because then what I do is I copy your address and then I bring it over to my Google Doc and I say Monarch customers. And so then that's how I keep track of you guys because my brain is a sieve. So you guys, somebody just said they're interested in the class, which is awesome. I did some people at the very end, I don't know if everybody saw the Monarch butterfly. It is super easy. And we get to use those fun pens, you know, the white pen and the black pen. Anyway, here it is. This is what we're doing next week. It's the Monarch butterfly. Super pretty. Anyway, there it is. Okay, cool, cool. All right, so in a perfect world, mine's getting smudgy, but that's okay. I would take my hairdryer and dry it, but we don't have to. We can just let it do its thing because it says, number 2, while the sky is drying, do the bear. Slightly wet the body only, not the head. And then after it dries, you can do the head. So I'm going to take my medium brush, you know, not the big one, not the tiniest one, like the medium one. And with the clean water, I'm going to get everything, not the fox, but I'm going to get everything wet except for his head. Okay, we're going to do the head later. So first we get it wet. And be real careful around the fox and around his ears. Okay? And then the bear color is the burnt umber right next to the red. So I'm going to take a little bit of it. I'm going to pull it out because I don't want it to be quite so dark. And I'm going to do all the dark areas first. I'm going to use my paper towel because I don't want a lot of color on it. So my paper towel's right next to me and I'm going in and I'm just dabbing in the color. If you think it's too dark, don't worry, we can fix it. I swear to you, we can fix it, okay?
Go ahead.
Excuse me, sorry. What color are you using? I just
I'm using the burnt umber. See this piece of paper here?
Yeah.
This piece of paper tells you what color we're doing the bear.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm going in and I'm looking at my picture and wherever I see it darkest, I'm putting it in there. So I'm going around his neck, the back of his neck, I'm putting some in. And then I notice that near his hindquarters, there's quite a bit. And then I'm also going to go around the whole bear, like the edge of the bear, you know, so that the darkest part is the edge of the bear. So here I go all the way around. Now, it's not very smooth. It doesn't look very good, right? So what I have to do is take some water and go in there and just smooth it out. Okay? So I'm pushing it around. I'm keeping it dark where I want to keep it dark, but it's like I said, for women who put on makeup, we know, right? We're just kind of putting the rouge on and we notice it's a little too dark in an area, so we have to push it away. And for guys, you don't know that because you don't put on makeup. All right, so I gotta keep it wet. Because if it's not wet, I'm going to have hard lines and I don't want hard lines. What are hard lines? Well, guess what? I have one right here and I'm so bummed. So I got to go in there and put in some more color and get it so it's not hard. Okay? All right. I like it. It's okay. I think I want it lighter. So if I want the bear to be lighter, I put in some clean water. I take my brush and I clean it up. I just literally, it's like I'm mopping it and I'm mopping it up. And then I go back in and I think, okay, well, where else do I want it dark? I want it darkest right by his ear. So you can take a smaller brush if you need to. If the brush you're using isn't very good, you can take a smaller brush and go ahead and go in there with the detail. Remember, I told you that it's going to dry quite a bit lighter. So behind his head, please make sure that you've got it nice and dark. Not super dark, but just dark enough so that when we put color on the bear's head, you can tell the difference between where his head is and where that other part is. Okay? That's a lot of stuff for you guys to do right away. But I swear to you, it'll work. It'll work. I'm also putting a little by the fox because I want the fox just a little bit. Okay? And don't forget about his haunch. I'm taking a little bit and I'm putting it and I'm making it as if it's the same direction that his haunch is going. And that's how I'm putting it in to make it look like he's got something there. And if I don't like how fuzzy it is, I can go in with a damp brush and gently lift it up. You don't want to be scrubbing. This kind of paper, you don't want to scrub. Not any paper you don't want to scrub, but you especially don't want to do it if, it's not the best of the best of the best paper. Okay, I'm doing this one again, just because I've got 2 of them. And that way you guys have time. And, oh, crud. See, I didn't clean off my brush. Oh, well. See, sometimes that happens, but it's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one super fast. And that way, if you guys need me to give you any instruction, I can do it. Sometimes if I do another one, I like to try and do things a little different. So like to experiment with it, All right. All right, good, good, good. Got it in there. Oh, I can hear you. Uh-oh. Okay. Someone's not on mute. Who's not on mute? I'll be able to tell if you're talking about me. Somebody just put it on mute. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do my bear. And I'm not going to get his head. Sometimes it's better when you're doing a painting if you go like you don't futz over things. You just go fast. And that way it's just crazy, but a lot of times they come out even better if I don't have a lot of time to think about what I'm doing. That's how it works for me, at least. So I'm just going to cruise around and around we go. You guys doing okay? Anybody freaking out? Remember, take yourself off mute if you want to scream. Just kidding. I'm afraid Sonia will. I got you. I see you smiling. Because I know she'd probably do that in a good way. Okay. Okay, I got my bear. All right. So I was telling you guys last week, if you were here, some of you weren't, I went to Montana and it was snowing every day. Billings, where my mom lives. Okay, good, good enough. I'm gonna stop there and let it dry. Okay, let's read what it says next to do. Okay, I'm gonna just go like this. The water is your friend. Don't be afraid to use it. That's why it's called watercolors. That's what we use it for. All right, let's get that haunch in there. Okay, so what does it say to do next? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, forget about that. We're gonna leave that. We're not gonna do that. Oh no. Well, unfortunately, Shannon, I know you don't have a hairdryer, do you? So I think we're gonna dry it now. Okay, guys? I'm gonna, sorry, you could just wave yours around, but I'm gonna put it on, I use it on a low setting and I go back and forth, and that's how I dry it, okay? I'm gonna put this on mute. Okay, is yours dry? Yeah, it's totally dry. Sparkling in the background, sorry about that. Okay, now, I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and do the bear's head. Now, how am I gonna do this? Well, I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did before, but I'm gonna go in a little deeper here and I'll show you. I'm putting a little bit by his nose, a little bit by his ears, and I'm blending it around his eyes. So we don't want the whole thing to be dark, right? Are you gonna make it a little better?
I'm just adjusting this slide.
It's just not focusing very well. That's the only bad thing. Okay.
There you
Okay. So if you could look at the painting of the picture that I gave you, that would really help. Don't put a lot on. You want it light. It's just, and the top of his head should be nice and light too. Okay? So I would take not the smallest of the small. I would get it slightly damp. Okay, just his head. And if you think you have too much water, you can always wipe it off. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit, just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and put it, it's going to look funky at first. It's going to look wrong. And I'm going to put it near his nose. And then I'm going to put it near there, down there. And I'm going to put a little up here. Now, after I've put it down, I'm going to rinse off my brush because right now I haven't softened it. And now I'm going to take my brush and soften it. Okay. And then It's okay to leave parts that are white.
Joan, I'm sorry, this is Kathleen again.
Yes.
I missed part of what you were doing, so you're gonna,
Oh, sure. I'll tell you.
There was some
What I did was I got his head wet.
okay,
Just very little bit. And then I took a very, very little bit of the brown that I was using. And I made sure that I put a little mark near his eye, a little bit near his nose, and a little
Okay.
bit over here. And then I cleaned off my brush and I went in, and now I'm softening.
Got it.
I'm kind of going in and buffering it. You know what I mean?
got it.
Okay, you're
Thank you.
barely using any, and you can go back in and put a little extra in. It'll look silly at first. It'll look like he's got a black eye until you go in and soften it up. Okay?
So, Joan, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Susan.
Yeah, hi, Susan.
Hi. So I ended up doing much brown. The body is very brown.
Okay, then make his head browner.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as this part here in
Yeah.
back of his neck is darker. You can't touch it now, but is it dark?
Yeah.
Then you're fine. I mean, your bear could even be black if you want, you know. I will
Okay.
actually show you the original bear. The original bear was a polar bear. Where is my original bear? Oh, shoot. I don't even know where my original bear is. And then I thought, oh, I just think it'll be prettier if we have a brown bear.
Yeah.
And that's why I changed it. But I got to tell you, if I were to do this again, I would make it a black bear. There's no reason why. You don't have to have it, you know, you can have it any color you want. My God, you could even have it be, you know, green bear. Ah, there we go. This is the original one, everybody. See?
Oh, wow.
So the original one, I didn't like the color of the sky matching this. I wanted it to change. And the original one, I thought my bird looked like a toucan, looks ridiculous. And the original one, I made the branches too heavy. And I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to make it so dark. I don't know what I was thinking, you know, but a lot of times I think, oh, how am I going to make it so that it'll come out clearly and nice on a color copy? So that's just the problem. Sometimes things come out and sometimes they don't. So when I did it again, I made it slightly smaller. This bear is definitely smaller because I wanted it to fit. And I also dropped my paintbrush 3-4 times. It was driving me crazy. So the original one, again, it still has the same look. And if you like the look of the bear like that, it's okay too. Okay. All right. So once I got that done, I feel it, and mine feels dry. If yours is dry, and only if it's dry, can you then do the fox? But it has to be dry to the touch. If it's not dry, you can't do it because it'll bleed. And that's when one color goes into another color, and that's beautiful when you want it to happen, and it's horrible when you don't. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the little guy, get him wet just a little bit, not even that much. And the one I'm using for him is this one right here. And what I do is I take it and you can water it down. I didn't give you very much because you really don't need very much at all. But one thing I need to tell you is it's very important to keep control of your water. So after I get my brush, I don't just go straight in there. I always wipe it off on the paper towel because then you know exactly how much you have. And now I'm going to look at my drawing and I know that he's got a dark ear. Okay. And I know right by his face, it's lighter. So I'm going to kind of let that alone.
Did you wet it?
I wet it just a tiny, tiny bit so that it would move around. Yeah, good question. And if you feel like it, you can just do the whole thing. And then what you can do afterwards is you can pull out the part near his nose. So what I did is I painted the whole thing, and now I'm going to go in and lift out the part near his nose, you know, because he's got that little space that looks kind of sweet.
14,000 square foot home design.
And I gotta tell you, when you do that, it just looks so natural. Let's see if I can do it. Come on, come on, picking it up, picking it out of there. And if I don't like how it is, if I think that, oh God, it's just not as light as I'd like it to be, then I'll make the ears darker. And that way I'll trick it my mind into seeing that other little part is white. At the end, I can use the white too, and I can add it to the fawn or whatever you want to call this. I guess it's a fox. And I can add a little bit of white at the end to make it look cuter. Okay. Now, when you're doing his back, if you'll notice, he's a little bit darker on the top. So I'm taking it and I'm just putting in a little bit more. Now, if you're comfortable using the medium brush, go for it. But if you want, you can also use the detail brush. It's totally up to you. It's whatever you feel comfortable. I just wouldn't use the big one.
So Joan, I'm
sorry.
Which color are we using?
Oh, if you look at this drawing here, do you see this drawing that I made? I'm using the burnt sienna for the fox.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, this is kind of like your map to figure out what you're gonna do.
Right.
Yes, you got it. You got it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, it really is just, I know it's shocking to see how little paint you need. So when I give you paint and it looks like I've just given you a dab, I'm embarrassed. You know, like the red, I gave you just a touch, but you'll barely use any of it for the bird. Unless you make it look like a toucan. My first one was ridiculous. My husband says, there are no red birds in the winter. And I thought, well, yeah, there are. There are in my world. Okay, so how is your cute little guy going? Now remember, when we're done, if you don't have enough white, we can add it in. So if you don't have his little face looking like you want it to, don't worry. We can make it look cute. And I didn't do a good job. I didn't make it white enough. Darn it all. Okay, so now what I think we can work on is I'm going to do the tree. And this time, the first time I did the tree, I didn't wet it. This time I'm going to wet the trunk. And not the branches. I'm not going to do the branches, but I am going to wet the trunk. And the color I'm using is called Van Dyke Brown. It's this one. And it's very dark. But I don't like it that dark. So I'm going to wet mine down a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the color. Because the first time I did it, I didn't like how dark it was. And now I don't like how light it is. So guess what? I want to use it a little bit thicker. Remember, you can always go in and use it thicker. You guys like dinner? Is it tasty?
Yes, it's very good.
Good.
Fantastic.
All right. So at this point, I don't want to make my mistake again like I did originally. I want to try and keep these branches as thin as possible. So I'm using the tip and I'm pulling them out, and I don't want them straight either. So I might even add a couple little areas. I'm not going to work on the nest, not yet. I'm going to do the nest later. When this is dry, I'll put my nest in. If you want your tree to be darker, you can add a tiny bit of Payne's Gray. If you want it to be a little darker. And the Payne's Gray is the one at the top there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, sometimes it looks better if you put a little darker in there somewhere so the tree doesn't look like it's just boring all one color, because you know trees have all sorts of colors. And then I'm going to go ahead carefully and put in my branches. I always think it's better to start out too skinny and too fat for these kind of things. And when you do the bird, leave a little space where he goes, so that he's like, I'll show you, I'll get a little deeper here. What I did was I left a little space so that, I mean, if you didn't leave a space, it's no big deal. But I did it so that when I put the little guy in, I don't have to worry about the branch. Okay. Now, like I said, the first time I did the nest, it just looks silly. So this time I'm going to try and do the nest when it's dry. Another little trick for you guys, you newbies, is you can take a clean paper towel and you can put it on something and just go like that, and it gives it a little bit of what do you want to call it? Definition, maybe? Yeah, it's not just so boring. See? So now my tree actually looks like it's got bark on it. A little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm just full of it. I'm probably full of it. Okay, I am making the branches a little thicker where they come out, just because that's how they look, you know? So I don't just need twigs coming out of there. I'm going to make it just a little bit thicker. Oh. What's that weird sound?
What's that? That's Jack.
Oh.
Jack's toenails.
Jack's toenails. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to touch my little guy. That doesn't sound right. I'm going to touch the, what's this guy called? The fox. What did the fox say? Na, 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 na. Have you guys heard that? Oh, it's horrible. I can't get that out of my brain. And now I am going to switch and do the bottom, this bottom area right here. Okay, so look at your picture. Where is my picture? And if you notice the bottom area, it gets a little darker right up here. You can add a little darker. It almost looks like he's on some melting. He's like he's on a melting glacier or something, you know? So I would just go ahead and get all this wet and then put a little bit extra up against the bear, okay? If your water's clean. My water's fairly clean. I'm using the large brush and I'm going right up there. Is it bugging you to have those guys in the background talking? Shut up.
Can they hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah,
I have a hard enough time remembering things. I can't even remember my own name.
Microphone doesn't pick us up though.
I was screaming for you to help me. About half an hour before class, the system wasn't working. And you know, Matt is my tech guy. Well, he was laughing about it, like laughing because I was having a conniption. He thought it was funny.
I didn't think it was funny.
Oh, you thought it was funny. I was like, I have a bunch of people who depend on me. Don't mess with me. I did say that I'd pay you, though. I'll pay you in quarters.
You don't pay me in quarters.
Yes, you might even get $1.
Just to spite me.
He was sitting in his car and it was running. And I know he was looking at Facebook or something. I don't know what he was doing. He was reading his phone and he was totally in another world. And I'm so evil. I went up to the car and slapped on the glass. That is not funny. He just did it to me. I almost messed up my drawing. Thank you.
Which blue? I'm sorry.
I'm using the cobalt. I'm using the cobalt blue right here. You don't have to, but I just think it looks pretty, you know? It makes it look different from the sky. But I am going a little darker next to them. And then I'm going to go in and sop it up because I think I have too much. So I can go in and pretend my big brush is a mop and mop it up. Because there's no reason why I have to have all that there. And then I can also drop in some water. Just take your water and drop it. Boom, boom, boom. You have to make that sound. And again, move it around a little bit. It just looks more natural. It looks like, you know, I don't know, it looks like a puddle. It practically is. I got a little puddle going on there. But I like the fact that it's closer and it gets a little bit darker next to them. You can pick it up and let it go down as well. So I'll zoom in so you can see how much I put on mine. So if I pick it up, it goes down. If I pick it up this way and tilt it, it still has movement. I don't want it so bad that it, you know, goes into the snow. But I think it'll look pretty, just to have a little dark bit there. Okay, while that's drying, please try not to get in it because I'm going to take my detail brush, if I can find one. Yes, well, detail enough, it's got a tip. And now I'm not going to wet my bird because my bird is so small. But I'm going to take a little bit of the red and ever so, I might even do it upside down because I don't want to get in it. I'm going to go upside down and just put a little bit in. Now, the last time I did it, his beak was too big. So this time I am going to try not to make his beak huge. Okay, this is not a detail brush. I've got a bazillion brushes and I can't even find a detail brush. You guys have all my brushes. Oh, rats. Rats, rats, rats. Oh well, I'll just make do. Ooh. Oh, it looks like a kookaburra. It looks ridiculous, but that's okay. You know what? It's just sort of looks like a bird. Doesn't really look like a bird. And now what I'm going to do with my black at the end is I'll probably just outline it so it looks better. All right. Now I'm going to focus again. And if your branch is dry, you can take a little bit of the same color, maybe a little bit of Payne's gray as well. And I'm going to put in some little tiny little strokes. Very, very light. You don't need very much at all to make it look like a nest. Okay? So I'm going to zoom in and show you that I barely did anything. I put in a couple little lines to make it look like it's a nest. Barely any, barely any. So here I am, I'm telling you that I'm going to do 2 and I'm only doing 1. So I haven't even been working on this. Yes.
Real quick, how did you do the nest again?
Oh, I took the same color as I did for the tree. I put a little bit of Payne's gray in it to make it darker. And then I just did little tiny lines going up. Like 3 or 4 little tiny lines in like a cup shape. That's how I did it. Because I didn't want it to look very big, but I wanted to make it just the illusion that it's a nest. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. All right, get in here. Boop, boop, boop. Did it work out? Are you making little twig lines?
Yeah, I think it's working out now.
Oh, good, good. You just don't want it to be overwhelming, you know, like an ostrich is in the tree. You know, it's like, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want that to be the focus. People will be like, oh, nice hibernating bear, but what's that in the tree? Oh, it's an ostrich. I'll just throw with this one, but that's okay. We don't always have to wet before we do stuff, but I think it just makes it a little bit easier. It makes it a little bit more forgiving too, sometimes. If you do, let's see if I can do this without waiting. So I was watching this show on the YouTube, and it was somebody found a robin and they laid 4 eggs. And so then she became very interested in it. And she was watching it for 2 weeks, I guess for 12 to 14 days. The guys, that's how long it takes them to mature. And this is going to freak you out. But there was no poop in the nest. And so she contacted an ornithologist. Is that what they're called? The people that deal with birds? And they said, oh, the mom takes the poop out of the thing. As soon as the bird has to poo, it turns around and it puts his butt in the air, and there's like a little sack. It's almost like a diaper. And the mom either takes it away or eats it. Ugh. Imagine. It's disgusting. So fascinating. I don't know why I was watching it for as long as I did. Sorry about my dog. Would anybody like a golden doodle free?
I have a bird. I have a bird because
Hey, how did your bird turn out?
it's like a vulture, so I don't have a bird anymore.
Oh, you got rid of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like a vulture. It was really.
oh, good for you. I really like your creativity. You fixed the problem by making it a bigger branch, right?
Yeah.
So did you make the tree eat it?
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
the tree it looks just.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
But anyway.
Good. Okay, so you had a vulture. Well, at least I don't know why we even have to have a bird in the tree, right? You don't have to if you don't want to.
It looks better with the bird, but I said mine got kind of.
All right. Well, yeah, the bird is definitely, you know, just a little blob if you can do that. Okay, so now that we have the bottom, the middle, and the top, we're going to work on the snow. All right, so what does the snow look like? All right, so what you can do when I did the snow is all I did was kind of just put a little smoothness in it. I kept this part white at the top. I kept about 1 inch or ½ an inch clear. Well, not quite there, only 1/4 inch. But I wanted to make it look like, okay, this is snow, but you can't do snow. So instead, you have to make it look like it has some, what is the word? It has to look like it has some shadows in it. So what I would do is just put a little bit of water on it. And then I'm going to take my blue, the one that I used at the bottom, and I'm going to mix it with my sky color. I'm taking those 2 colors and I'm mixing them. Okay. And then I'm just putting a little bit in here and there and around it. I'm making sure that I have it around it. Now, the first time I do it, it looks too dark and it looks silly. All right. Be careful not to touch the bottom if it's still wet. You don't want to touch the bottom. Okay. I'm not going to touch the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go in and then soften it. Okay. And I'm staying away from the wet. if I touch the wet, it'll be bad. It's like in Ghostbusters when the streams cross. Remember when he's like, don't cross the streams, Ray? You guys remember that from Ghostbusters? I don't know. And I've got a hard line here, of course, and now I'm mad, so I have to buff it out. You don't want any hard lines. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world if it touched, but I didn't want it to touch at the bottom. Okay. All right, so light, light, light around it. I think that the blue should be around the whole thing though, definitely. And at the end, if you want, we can add a little bit of white to make it look even whiter. I think it's important to put a little bit darker around the bear. Okay, that looks like a lot, but it'll make it look like it's actually in a cave. If we could get it just a little darker around that area. Uh-oh. Okay. Not thrilled, but that's okay. I read something that says, don't do something in order to be good at it. Do something for the pleasure of it, or something like that. What was it? It was on Facebook, one of those things. It's like, you don't do things to know that you're going to succeed or be good at it. You just do it for it just, I guess, makes it you more of a well-rounded person or something weird like that. I don't know. The self-help things. Okay. And sometimes, quite frankly, I don't like my paintings, but when you step away from them, it does help. You're like, oh yeah, I did that. I remember. I never like it in the beginning, and then I like it afterwards. Okay. Oops. I didn't want to get a bear, his den. I didn't want to get in on him. I don't want to, but I do want to just have a little bit of color. Not much. Looks pretty good. Okay. How's it looking, everybody? Are we happy? I can't wait to see the end product, especially Michelle with her tree, gobbled up the bird.
Okay, so it's so scary to put that blue on.
It is. It is scary. I
Yeah.
know, because you look at that beautiful white, but you can always soften it. As soon as you put it on, the minute you put it on, you can use water and dissipate it.
Okay.
It is scary.
It is.
It is. It's
I'm
like,
gonna add more because yours looks so good, and I'm like, what?
I know. It's like you put on a lot, but then you back off. Then you put on some more, and then you back off. And you got to work fast, because you want to make sure that, you know, and that's what it is. You're learning it's like you're training yourself on how to use the, somebody's asking me something. Chat. Oh, hi, Matt. Oh my God. Yeah. Shannon, I finally saw your chat.
Hey, Joan, it's Kathleen again. Did you use white then somewhere?
Not yet. We do that at the end.
Okay.
That is our secret. and that is called gouache. I finally figured out how to say it. And we use it when it's completely dry and it's almost like acrylic, and we do it just to like soften things up, okay? Real watercolorists don't use it. So we just do it because we're naughty. Okay, the white we'll do at the very end, but we can't use it while it's wet. That's the problem. Okay. How is everybody doing? Are we almost to the point where we're going to, what else are we gonna do? We gotta wait till it's dry, and we have to then put in the eyeballs and little tiny details. That's what we're going to work on. I'm working on the fox now. And then we'll do our little bit of work with the white. And then we do a show and tell, newbies. I spotlight your video and you show us, and we all ooh and ah and tell you how awesome it is. Okay, so that's our little treat at the end. It really is fun because everybody's got their own style, and it's fun to see how they turn out or not turn out. And I've also had people try it again and then send me pictures, and that is fun. Like when we did the pumpkin, I know that Sonia, you sent me another picture. You did it twice or 3 times. You must have been giving them as gifts or something, because yours really look good. And your friends are so encouraging too. They're so sweet. They're like, hey, I mean, what are they going to say? Sonia, what? You call that a pumpkin? Better not, right?
You know what? I made them into Thanksgiving cards, and I bought.
Oh, look. Yeah, you said happy Thanksgiving, and you have a nice handwriting too. Nice job. See? And they're like, oh my God, you made this, right? Hey, you pay $5 for a stupid card. And then what is it, 50 cents now to send it? But if it weighs, you have to like dollar something. I mean, it is ridiculous how much cards can be. Yes. I like to go and get ideas from cards. I look at it and say, this watercolor, I think I could do this. So sometimes I buy them. I buy watercolor cards so that I can copy them. I'm sure there's some sort of infringement problem going on there, but when I take ideas, I like to change them a little bit just in case somebody comes after me. I mean, it's not like I'm making tons of money off it, right? If anything, I mean, I hope I'm not doing anything terrible. I'm not saying it's my own. I'm just kind of using ideas. But there's a lot of debate about that too. It's like, oh, you can't do that. You've got to make up your own. Well, okay. All right. And you know what? Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like. So whatever it turns out to be, it turns out to be. This is my husband.
I'm not in the picture, no.
Go bend down.
Miriam already knows what I look like.
Miriam, come here.
Hi,
She's
Miriam.
the one I had to run over to her house because she didn't think I gave her enough pay.
Really? Miriam?
Miriam, I know where you live.
And tell her I'm going to hit an overhead
I go,
effort.
look, I look like a homeless person. She's like, so do I. We both were like standing there. I'm wearing my slippers. I was wearing my slippers driving around in the car.
Don't tell Don how dumb I am.
She just went down a notch in the hit and run fan club.
Totally.
Oh, are you trying to rack up like customers?
What?
Are you trying to rack up customers?
What are you talking about?
Well, you got somebody from Hit and Run.
Well,
Is he going around begging for customers? Is he saying, hey, man?
No, I didn't even tell her about it. I didn't know how she found out about it.
What? You didn't even tell her about it. Okay, guys, when this is dry, we're gonna take our amazing pen and I hope this pen works. If the pen is broken, I apologize and you can throw it away. Some of you might have 005, which is the thinnest of the thin, okay? So be careful with it. They're very, very thin. I've since then ordered 01 instead. But what I do with it is I end up doing the nose and the eyes, and I might even do a little bit around the bird. So I'll show you. Let me see if he's dry. Yeah, he's dry. So I may just do his little beak and draw around it. No, guess what? That looks stupid. Now I hated it. Now I hate it. No, I don't like it. So you also have a white pen. And sometimes the white pen can come in handy. For example, maybe I want to put in a couple little marks on the tree so it doesn't look quite so, I don't know, boring. Put a couple little lines in it. Ooh, see? I don't know. Sometimes I do that, right? You don't have to if you don't want to. Now, when it is completely dry and you're all done painting, you can take the white and reconstitute it, okay? And then wherever you think you need a little bit of white, oh, it's not ready yet. I have to make sure it's dry. I can put it, for example, I'm going to put a little bit on his forehead. And now only you will know that we cheated and used white paint. Okay? And then I'm going to take a tiny bit because I wanted a little extra on his forehead to make it look like it's rounded. If you put it in somewhere, it often gives the illusion that you have some shape. So I put too much there, if you'll notice, but it also really accentuates his haunch. So I can take a little bit of water because I put too much and I can start smoothing it in there. Ah, see? No one will know but you.
Baby Bear's got back.
Baby Bear's got back. That's what Don said. I don't know. It's a baby bear. Oh, I got a good story to tell you. Are you ready? One year at band camp. No, I'm just kidding. I went to Tahoe for a Spanish language camp. I wanted to see what it was all about and if I could pick up any ideas for teaching. My Spanish is pretty good, but you know, I mean, I can always learn, right? So I went with a couple other ladies and we rented a place up at Tahoe. We decided to sit in the backyard and have a beer. We stood there and we were like, you guys, what's that in the backyard? There was a big brown bear sleeping in the backyard. So we carefully stood up, went back inside the house, shut the door, and then the bear got up and was lumbering around and climbed over the fence. We were freaking out. I mean, how often do you just sit in your backyard and there's a bear there? Whew, I tell you. All right, so the nose. I'm going to go in and put the nose in. I'm going to put the eyes in. You know they're sleepy, sleepy. These guys are here. These guys are here. If you think the nose is too bright, you can take a little bit, like it's too black. You could take a little bit of the white and then just dull it down a little bit. Because sometimes the black is just too black and it's like, what? That's crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and put his little nose in there. His eyes, everything else. I love it. I'm not going to do anything else to it. And when you're ready, remember to figure out where your thing is going to go, your frame. Because the thing is, if you sign it in the wrong place, you'll screw it up and you don't want to sign it in the wrong place. And I think you need to put the date because we all need to remember 2020. So if I were to take this and put it on here, there, see? Or do I, nope, have to do it this way. So how much of the tree, I don't think you need much of the bottom. So then do you want it in the center? Or do you want it a little off? I think it's better to put a little bit off. And then when you sign it, you want to make sure that it fits. And voila. I got the date. I've got it signed. I'm thrilled with it. Look how sweet that is. Oh my gosh. I just want to snuggle with that little guy. Okay, so where am I going to sign this one? Well, see, this one was too big. That's why I had to make it smaller for you guys. I'm not real thrilled with this one. And I don't want to put it in a big frame either. It's not worthy of a big frame. So part of me is like, see, I don't know what to do about that. And my bird looks like a big old toucan. Oh well, such is life. Sometimes life gives you lemons. Oh gosh. Okay, I can't wait to see your drawings or your paintings. Can you believe we're finished? Or do you guys not feel like you're finished? Are you pleased? Are you upset? Do you want your money back? Don's like, no way, man. Hey, I spent it on my eyelashes, okay? All right.
I spent on hit and run.
Don spent it on hit and run. We had to become a member because they were charging us like 15 bucks more, right?
20.
$20 more because of COVID.
No,
So we
it's
had-
always 20 bucks.
Well, it's always 20 bucks, but they charged an extra 20 for not being a member.
Non-member fee.
Non-members had to pay like 40 bucks.
Yeah, that's insane.
It is insane. Does she know who Lorna is?
Yes.
Well, I tried tennis one day, well, twice. And you know, she's 80 years old. She came up to me and she says to me, you know, Joan, you're supposed to move your feet.
Go, Lorna.
Lorna.
She's
I
not
said, she's pretty good for being 80 years old. She looks good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the stop share. Okay, can I see your paintings? Sonia, we're going to start with you, and I am going to spotlight your painting. Oh my gosh. You guys, look at yours. Yours really looks like it's in the snow.
Oh, it's
I like it. It looks very snuggly. Are you happy with it? I'm happy with it. Okay, Miriam, do you feel like I gave you enough paint? Oh, you have to take yourself
Yeah, I
off
have
of.
to take my screen off.
Yeah, unfortunately you do.
No, it's fine. It just goes there automatically.
You don't look like anything like you did when you came to the door. Your hair was
I know.
up. No.
That's my.
You were barefoot and in a cute little skirt. Now you just, no.
All right, how do I do that?
Oh,
Here, wait.
take off the background? I don't
I'm
know.
trying to do
Is there
that.
a button?
Yeah, I got it.
All
Hold
right,
on.
all right, let's see. Although I do like your boat. Do you ski behind it? Are you
Yeah.
a water skier?
My son does,
How old is he?
16.
Oh, so he's a junior.
Yep.
I have a senior.
All right, how do I do this?
Hmm.
Let's see. I'm forgetting how I did this.
You go to the little caret by the stop video,
Carrot.
Yeah.
Stop video. Oh, and now what do you do?
and then you click on it and go up to virtual background.
Susan is our whiz.
Well, I should know. Here we
Oh,
There you go.
oh no, now we can
Okay.
see your house. Cute.
got it.
All right, let's see it. Hold it up. Tell us how much you love it. Oh, look at you. You didn't put oh, you did. Look at that. Oh, he's sweet. Do you love him?
I like it. Yeah.
I like it. It's different than acrylic, huh?
Oh my God, completely a different world.
It is a different
It's much
world.
harder, I think.
Well, there's a lot of craziness that can happen. So it's all about timing. You know what I mean? And you'll get that. This is your first one.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on and spotlight Susan Kenny. Okay, let's see it, everybody. Oh, look. See, you were worried about putting in that dark in there, but it worked out. It worked
Yeah,
out.
get later.
It worked out. It worked out. Okay, Shelly, we're going to move on to you. And I'm going to pin you. Can everybody see hers? Is hers nice and big? Oh, look at that. Oh, your sky came out really well.
Yeah.
Wow, I love it. Do you love it?
Cute. Yeah, I do.
It's cute. You just have to
No,
cut
it
off.
felt like I was fighting it the whole time.
Oh
but
yeah, that's
my first
You got to
time,
get,
so-
but you get used to it.
Yeah.
And after a while, you know what to expect, and so you go with the fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, it's going to happen every time, and I know how to control the water.
I think too, my paper, I was absorbing so much. It was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when we do the Monarch, I'm giving you better paper.
Okay.
Okay. The Monarch will be a little bit harder, and it's a smaller piece. I'm not giving you a huge piece, but I tell you, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Great.
Good. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to see Michelle's, because she did something special with her bird. She swallowed it up. Let's see what happened. Ah, see? It's just a nice tree.
Yeah, but
You got,
like it's floating. I thought about.
no, you got rid of it. We
I
think,
thought it's
no. Let me see it again. Let me see it again. Let me see. I don't think it's floating. Let me see. No, it's not floating. Oh, no. It's fine. Your dog likes it. Your dog just said he likes it.
Oh, okay.
I like it. You're cute. Okay, we're moving on to Kathleen. Oh dear, Kathleen. This is her first one.
Well, first effort here.
Oh, what are you talking about? I love it. I think.
just feel like I need a little bit more of something along in here.
Well, you know what could happen if you painted it again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The first time I did it, and this is what I should have told you guys. Can you see mine? Next time, we're going to make it really dark. Can you see that?
Where are you?
Okay, wait. I'm gonna pin my video real quick. Okay. All right. Here I go. I'm gonna pin me spotlight video. Here I am. Next time we do it, we can make it darker at the bottom. Do you see that?
Yeah. You mean under the bear?
Not under the bear.
Oh, along there. Oh, I see.
Because then it makes the top of the what is it called? The snow stick out.
Yes. Okay.
So next time I do it, I'm going to make the bear deeper, maybe, and have it like darker right there. This part here needs to be darker. Okay.
Right. That makes sense. Thank you.
But we learn every time, don't we? We really
do.
And you know what? Why do it one time? I mean, it's like Wile E. Coyote. Why didn't he just keep doing that Acme thing? He would have caught him. You know, what an idiot. And why would he spend all that money on that products? Anyway, apparently I needed to get a life as a kid. All right, Kylie, is that how you say your name, or is it Kyle? You're Kyle.
It's Kyle.
Kyle Rizal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see yours. Come on, Kyle. Ooh, you made it darker.
On the horizon, I think, but
you know what? You are a very pastel painter, and your mom is a dark painter. All right, you're gonna, yeah. Did you put in the eyes and the nose already, Kyle?
yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Pretty small though. It's hard to see on the.
Yeah. Okay. And if you want to lighten, because everything's very pastel-y, if you want to lighten your nest, you could do it with the white, or you could do it with the pen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I like it. I like both of yours. Uh-oh.
I just gotta say, both of you definitely got grandma's artistic abilities.
Oh, wait, they're related to you?
Yes.
Oh, that's the sister. Okay, now I get it.
Our sisters.
All right. Now I get it. So that's Auntie.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Well, let's have a look. Oh my gosh. I like it. You didn't do a bird either.
No, I accidentally put too much water with the
Yeah,
paint
that's
and
all
it
right.
smeared.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's why
Okay.
there's some extra branches.
By the way, I have like 3 hair dryers. Would you like one of them?
That's all right.
No, I'm going to figure out where you live and I'm going to drop off a hair dryer.
I'm determined to find it.
Okay. All right. You know you have a hair dryer somewhere in the house, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere on the property.
All right. Let's go ahead and move along to Sally Roberts. Uh-oh. What do you think about yours, Sally? I love your hair color. That is gorgeous. No, you have to unmute yourself. Ooh la la.
Oh, how cute.
Ooh, everything's so soft and beautiful. You really did a nice job. I think I like how you did the sky, especially.
Oh, I kept dropping water onto it.
No, you did a good job. You moved it around. You're learning so much. Your paintings are really getting good. Nice job.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
Uh-oh, it's Kate O'Connor. She slid in at the last minute. I had to turn somebody away because I had nobody else, but you made it. Oh, and you never use my drawings. You do your own, right?
Correct.
It's very nice. Your bird looks like a bird. He's looking the other way, right? He's looking towards us.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot. Nice. They look very cozy. Okay, Rachel's a newbie too. All right, newbie. Hello. Is this your first time?
First time.
Woo,
It is.
She's a watercolor virgin.
I am.
Let's see. Oh, nice. His cave, it's interesting. His cave looks different, but I like it. It looks like he kind of carved out a little area and it looks, I don't know, looks realistic. Super sweet. I think they look cozy. Are you pleased with it?
I am.
Good.
Yeah, I would like to do something a little bit more interesting with this guy next time.
But you know what?
I think
Because I only gave you an 8x10, there's not much sky. So, but if I give, because sometimes you do bigger ones, and then we would spend more time on the sky. Okay, honest. That's awesome. Good. Okay, Holly. Ruh-roh. Holly. Holly. Hi, are you ready? Okay, let's see. Oh, ooh, look at that sky. Man, I really like how you got the 3 different colors of blue. You did a good job on the sky. Did you drop a lot of water on it?
I did. I dropped a lot of water and did a lot of movement side to side.
I like it. Side to side movement. You picked it up then, huh?
Yeah, I picked it up and just turn it side and then,
Yeah, I like that. I think the next time
get my blue to blend up here, the snow, there's a big line there, but I'll work on that.
It doesn't really matter. No, I don't think you should need to do anything else. I think it looks good. I really do. I think it's sweet. I think your bear looks really sweet. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Did I get everybody?
Really nice.
Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody, and I need my stuff back, just so that I can recycle it. Otherwise, I would be broke. And thank you very much, and I hope you do next Thursday. Okay.
Thank you so much. Really
Bye,
fun.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, I'll send a video to those other people.